a KQED television production.
It's like holy mother of comfort food.
Throw it down, it's noodle crack.
You have to be ready for the heart attack on a platter.
Okay, I'm the bacon guy, right?
Oh, it just did a jig every time I dipped into it. It
just completely blew my mind.
I felt like I had a mouthful of raw vegetables and dry dough.
Oh, yes. Please, I want the dessert first.
Yes.
Told me you had to wait.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by IRG has thousands of natural stone surfaces, all in stock today. IRG, online at marblecompany.com. Bay Area Subaru dealers. Opportunities to test drive the 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek Hybrid are available at local Subaru dealers. Subaru, online at subaru.com. Located at the southern gateway to Napa, Jamison Ranch Vineyards offers handcrafted wines, chef's food pairings, and weekly live music. JamisonRanch.com. Oakland International Airport, offering new flights to Europe, Hawaii, and all across the USA. Oakland International. Park close. Fly on time. With whole toasted sesame seeds, garlic, ginger, and other natural ingredients, soy vey sauces and marinades bring a taste of Asia to your favorite dishes. Support KQED's vehicle donation program and donate a car to help raise funds for quality public media. Powered by Cars.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sbrocco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week's self-proclaimed foodie, Shannon Kastner, is now a housewife and enjoying every minute of it. But when she throws off the apron and slams down the oven mitts to head to the latest hit restaurant, she means business. And trust officer Douglas Schlafer considers himself quite the cook and enjoys comparing recipes, especially those prepared with the secret ingredient of love. He's loyal to visiting favorite places again and again and again. And fun girl, student, and aspiring filmmaker Suki Van Arsdale appreciates good food bargains that complement her student budget. Her favorite food truck prepares Filipino dishes, including must-have vegetarian items. It can be found roving the Bay Area, and it's called Señor Sisig.
We really pride what we do as a family business. We're not blood, but he's like my brother, so we are a family, and we want everybody to feel like that as well. My name's Evan Kidera, and I'm the general manager of Señor Sisig.
My name is Gil Payumo. I'm the chef of Señor Sisig.
I was getting my MBA, and I was searching for possibilities to open a business. Food trucks were one of my ideas, and so we collabed on the ideas. He said, hey, let's do Filipino fusion with Mexican food, and he had his family's recipe for sisig.
It takes 48 hours just for the marinade itself. From there, we developed the menu. Not only the sisig taco, we have burritos, tacos, and nachos.
So we created the name Señor Sisig, which kind of is a fusion of both cultures, Mexican and Filipino. So since 2010, we've grown from 1 truck to 3 trucks. For us, the experience of being at Señor Sisig is really what the brand is about. You know, I mean, you might come to our truck and there might be a long line, but it's really about the experience of being in that line. And when you get to the window, you're greeted with a smile. Your food comes out quick, it comes out hot, and when you get your burrito or your taco, you're able to enjoy it and wanted to share it with all your friends and family.
All right, Suki, food trucks, that's a student-friendly budget kind of place, isn't it?
Yeah, for the most part. For the most part, definitely. I found this place, a friend had introduced me about a year ago, and I've been going constantly ever since. I'd say every other week or so. I love this place because I love spicy. I grew up on spicy food, so it really just hits the spot. I can eat everything on the menu because—
And you're a vegetarian.
I'm a vegetarian, so tofu is an option on everything except for their one special they have on Tuesday, Thursdays. It's really hard to find people who do tofu correctly, and it's firm, and it's fried on the outside. It's in this like sweet chili sauce. It gives a smoky, sweet sauce. My favorite's the California burrito. Fries and guac and sour cream and cheese and the tofu. That one, or the tofu sisig with steamed rice, because that one's really straightforward. So you can just have the tofu and the rice, and it has jalapenos on it. It's got a little relish. You could slog it where you put a fried egg on top, which they put on top of the rice. And as long as you eat it fast, you know, it's a fried egg, so you got to eat it kind of fast.
I thought that it was very, very good. I particularly liked the garlic rice that was in the burrito. The meat is prepared, it's almost minced. I don't know quite how to describe it.
Yeah.
But the spices are delicious, and the burrito was just out of this world. I wish that they had a storefront, a restaurant, because I would go there all the time.
No, I wish they did too.
Well, because sometimes the line can be very long.
The line can be very long, but I also had the preparation with the steamed rice. This time I had the pork with the fried egg, but that and the burritos, by the time I got back to the office, everything had lost really its heat and had lost, I think, a lot of its vibrancy.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely delicious.
So eat it right there. If you're
going to eat it right there.
If you're going to flog something, just down it. Like stand there and go for it.
Yeah, the trouble was the truck was at 300 Pine, which meant it was at Pine and Sansom.
Yeah.
So there was no place to sit.
No.
And Shannon, what about you?
Let's just start by saying I'm not really a food truck type of gal. This is my first experience.
Really?
But I was
first at any food truck
Any
ever?
food truck.
Well, this is
So I like the dining experience, but the food truck was amazing. I love spicy food as well, and the spicy pork is amazing. Apparently,
which is their specialty.
Yeah, they marinate it for 24 hours in some special spices. And I had both the nachos, which was like a party in my mouth, and I also had the burrito, the pork, spicy pork.
The California
the
or
the
the
Sisig one? Yeah, not with the
okay.
fries. Not with the fries. Because I thought if I'm going to do the rice, I can't do the fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a carb thing.
A lot of carb.
Yeah, a lot of carb thing. But the nachos were definitely amazing. They were like crispy chips, and then the nacho cheese, sour cream, guacamole, pico de gallo, and then the jalapenos. I mean, seriously, a party in my mouth. I would definitely go back. Really good.
Just for the nachos.
Just for the nachos. Yeah, after a good night of drinking, I think that'd be a great place to go.
Fries are essentially what the nachos are too. It just has fries in it.
I don't know if I could do that. That's a lot
It's a
of
little easier
calories
with the fork.
combined.
It's a little easier with the fork because the nachos you kind of got to balance. The fries you can use a fork and just like.
Yeah, but I was a little bit lost with the fries in the burrito,
Yeah, I
and
don't know
the
if
rice
that's my
was
thing.
so good. I mean, that garlic rice was just
The
spectacular.
adobe garlic rice.
The adobe
right?
garlic
Yeah.
rice, that and the beans, I could have taken a bucket of that home. Very happy for a week.
You should ask them if they sell that. They might.
Buy the bucket.
Buy the bucket. It really was.
And they could stand there and eat the whole bucket
You know,
right in front.
as far
Get
as
cold.
the spice goes, I didn't think that it was that spicy. But
Well, they have the sriracha sauce.
Yeah,
The
they have
huge
sriracha
bottle
there.
with and people are taking it by the tons, and I'm thinking this is already so spicy.
And Shannon, what about the tacos?
So I don't ever eat dark meat chicken, ever. So the only chicken you can get, and I don't like tofu, is thigh meat. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna try something different because I can't get pork nachos, pork burrito, and then pork. So I got a taco with the chicken in it, and I got it spicy. With like a lettuce and a sour cream.
Right.
And you taste it, and I couldn't even tell it was dark meat chicken.
Right.
So it was delicious.
I mean, let's talk about tricks and getting in, and maybe, you know, is there
Timing
any?
is everything because otherwise you could wait in line for about 45 minutes, which definitely is not
what you want to do.
Not what you want to do.
Fast
But I will
once you
say
get
once
there.
you order, you'll get your food within like 2 minutes. I know a day ahead if I'm gonna eat there, and I definitely try to get there either right when they open. So like if they have a 5 o'clock dinner, I try to get there within the first half hour because there's not too much in line, or I wait till the very end. But at the very end, they may run out of your protein.
You're a student, as you said. This is a spot where you get your bang for your buck, right?
I'm very cheap, and this is even a little bit of a splurge for me because you're gonna pay at least $10 or so. But it's worth it. There's one of the women that is always taking the orders, and Mariel knows my name. She knows what order I like. I show up and she's like, "Hi, how are you doing?" Blah blah blah. Like,
let me slog you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, this is your restaurant. Suki, wrap it up for us.
If you want really nice, intricate, spicy flavors with the Mexican, Filipino, American fusion with vegetarian options, this is the place.
Okay, and Doug?
It's very good food. It really is. As long as you can find a place to sit and eat it before it becomes cool and loses its vibrancy.
Okay.
I would definitely go back. I would just go pick it up after a big night of drinking and grab those nachos and enjoy the party in my mouth.
If you would like to try Señor Sisig, the truck can be found around the Bay Area. Check Facebook and Twitter and their website for location information. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Average price for a meal is under $12. A one-ton bell of good fortune hangs over the bar at Shannon's Pick. Buddhas abound, noodles fly, and you can watch your meal being prepared right before your eyes. On the 4th floor of Westfield Mall in San Francisco, you'll find MY China.
I'm Martin Yan. Welcome to MY China. Our concept is to bring the very best traditional, authentic Chinese cuisine in a contemporary setting. Look at this beautiful place. We want people to come in here to be entertained. We want them to have a wonderful experience and a great memory. I've been cooking since I was 13 years old. I'm not about to tell anybody how old I am, but I have been in the kitchen for over 35 years. Most Chinese restaurant in the kitchen is way at the back, so people are curious and sometimes even suspicious. What the heck they're doing inside the kitchen? What we do at MY China, we bring the whole kitchen out. It's interactive and it's open. We're making dumpling and dim sum and also the wok cooking, just like fireworks. When you order our longevity noodle, we hand pull it right in front of you. Noodle pulling has been an art in China for over 1,500 years. And Chef Tony is from that region where they actually pull the noodle in most restaurants. And it takes a lot of skill, a lot of practice, and a lot of strength to do it without breaking the noodle. As a restaurateur and a chef, we want to entertain. We want people to come in and see what we're doing and taste all our food and then discover the essence and the spirit of Chinese cuisine at MY China.
Yeah. Now, Shannon, it's easy to say My China instead of MY, which stands for Martin Yan, of course, who's the proprietor, restaurateur, very well known.
James Beard Award winner.
Right, well known on PBS for his cooking shows and things. Now, did you discover MY China while you were shopping?
Yes,
Let's
of
be
course.
honest.
Don't tell my husband, but he's gonna see this show. Some people are discouraged to go in because it's in a mall, but once you walk in, you don't feel like you're in a mall at all. There's like the open kitchen and the noodle bar where they're throwing noodles everywhere, and the wild boar scissor cut noodles are one of my favorite dish. No noodle is the same length or width, and they throw it in a wok with scallions and bean sprouts and mushrooms and toss it with oil, and you throw it down, it's noodle crack. Like, you cannot stop eating the dish. I'm like, my girlfriends are like, don't order that again. Don't order that again. I will not stop eating. It's so good.
We did the vegetarian longevity noodle soup. The noodles were great. They were kind of like a thick udon consistency. The broth was amazing, full body, but not super heavy. I will say though, it had a little too many mushrooms. They had a couple pieces of tofu and a couple pieces of one of the thicker mushrooms, but then they had these little white ones. I always forget the names of. We also had the Szechuan green beans, which is one of my go-tos. I love spicy green beans. We had the little crispy tofu that came out in a cute presentation, but it was actually too spicy. It kind of burned. Too spicy
for you?
It kind of burned, and I'm a spice addict, and she is too, and we wound up picking off the garnish because it was a little too spicy.
And Doug, where did you start?
So we had a party of 5. 2 of my friends, 2 young men, decided to go for one of the dinners. They had a special that evening on live crab. And so they went for, I think, a 4 or 5 course dinner. The curried crab special, this enormous bowl with just a dozen different kinds of vegetables and this absolutely deliriously wonderful curry sauce and a huge crab. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, the score was crab to them 0. Because they were covered. They had crab up to each elbow. They had crab in their hair. They had crab in my hair, what's little left of it. And I finally flagged down the waiter and said, we really need to have more towels or something. I mean, or a rain slicker or an umbrella or opera-length gloves.
Bibs.
And they had brought these tiny little house-made wet things that were 4x4 that were very small, and I was hoping they would bring perhaps a steam towel,
a big old napkin,
like a bath towel.
And it was very, very expensive. The special dinner was well over $100 by the time the tax and tip, just for those 2.
Just for those 2,
and I thought, bring me a wet bath sheet for these 2 kids.
I've afforded it. I paid for it.
And then the other 3 of us, we just had dishes off the menu, and they were absolutely superb. The wok seared filet in the black peppercorn sauce, which was just delicious. That was on baby arugula. Right. And then we had 2 chicken dishes. We had the Chairman Mao chicken.
Yum.
And then we had
like a chicken nugget, right?
Yeah.
Spicy or sweet and sour sauce.
It's just
so good.
Extraordinary. And then we had the fried noodles, the Hong Kong style noodles, with another chicken preparation, chicken and vegetables. But man, the star of those dishes was the chicken. I don't know where they get their beef, and I don't know where they get their chicken. but it's not from Earth.
I don't either, but it's good.
It is absolutely superb. It is the highest quality. It was prepared perfectly. I just was blown away.
So I get the Kung Pao crab, which is basically they take it out of their live tank and then they wok toss it and then they fry it. And they throw it in with fresh herbs, bell peppers, hung fei chili peppers, which are incredibly hot, but then they fry them so you can taste them and they taste almost like a potato chip. I seriously am like sucking the fried stuff off of the bones on a crab. It is so good. Like everywhere, food everywhere, like you said. You need a bath towel after, but it is amazing.
And
so
the wine
good.
list is quite, it's small, but it's well crafted
but it complements the menu.
That's right, to the menu, and you can pick by price. So under,
I had a Mai Tai, so
there you go.
Well, the specialty cocktails are amazing. There's an East meets West cocktail. It's my favorite. It's a chrysanthemum-infused vodka with an orange blossom honey and lemon juice. And it is so good,
really
but like they go down so easily. All of a sudden you have two and you're, whoa! So you get really careful. Yeah, but the cocktails are really good.
Strong.
Yeah.
The Mai Tai was
they're strong.
It was good. It was super good.
It's a bustling spot, isn't it?
It is, and there are 3 distinct seating areas.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a pretty sophisticated dining room. There's the bar, I'd call it, that has the bar and also the windows overlooking the prep area. And most of the food you see being prepped spends at least half of its time in the air as the woks are flying back and forth. But unfortunately, about a third or a quarter of the restaurant actually is inside the mall, under the dome.
And we don't often talk about desserts at Chinese restaurants, but there are a couple special desserts at this spot.
The egg puffs.
Yes, it was like a sweet popover.
You had the same?
It was like a sweet popover. It was
it's like a
so
donut.
Good.
Their version of a donut.
5 was not enough, but another 5 would have been too many, so we just kind of cut ourselves off. Once you dip the coulis with the whipped cream, it came with also a chocolate sauce, but
it's like a chocolate
I'm not
fondue,
super chocolatey, so
vanilla
the fruit,
chantilly cream, raspberry coulis.
Oh my, it was so good. It was so good.
All right, Shannon, your spot. Give us a quick wrap up.
So if you want incredibly fresh, incredibly tasty, innovative Chinese cuisine, MY China is the place to go.
Okay, and Doug?
It's a very, very good Chinese restaurant, but there are others in San Francisco that I think I prefer.
All right, and Suki?
Little out of my everyday price range, but I would definitely return for the green beans and the egg puffs.
All right, if you would like to try MY China, it's on the 4th floor of the Westfield Shopping Center in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-580-3001. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab for dinner without drinks is around $35. From savvy sommeliers to self-proclaimed novices, Riesling appeals to drinkers of all levels. The reason? Its flexibility. Made in styles from bone-dry to super sweet, Riesling is a world-class white that pairs with light fish dishes, hearty sausage platters, and decadent desserts. Now, most are familiar with German versions or those from Alsace in France, but my secret weapon area for Riesling is Australia. When people tell me they don't like Riesling because it's sweet, I say head south. Dry versions hailing from down under rank among my favorites. South Australia's Clare Valley, or the Clare as it's called, is hilly, cool, and remote. Rieslings emerging from this bucolic spot are known for their ping of lemon-lime freshness. The high-altitude Eden Valley also produces complex yet crisp dry-style Rieslings. Now both are perfect spring and summer sippers. Cheers. After 20 years in business, Doug's Pick considers itself something of a family. Fresh-made pizzas and pastas really sing to the tune of the live music and festive ambiance. Hum along to Montclair Village, where you'll find the pride of Italian Colors Restaurant.
In 7th grade, my dad got transferred from Virginia to Detroit, Michigan, and when I went to school there, I got stuck in home economics, and it changed my life. What really hooked me was a no-bake cheesecake that our teacher, our instructor, Mrs. Savilicquist, taught us how to make. Hi, my name is Alan Carlson. You're at Italian Colors Restaurant in the Oakland Hills, Montclair District of California. 21 years ago, Stephen Montgomery and myself decided to open an Italian restaurant that seemed to fill a void that was missing in Montclair, and it's been a match made in heaven. I was classically trained in French cooking. I switched to Italian, and now I'm rounding it out with other influences. Our menu changes 4 times a year on the regular menu, and then the specials we change every day so the crew doesn't get bored, and we get to have a lot of fun with whatever our local foragers and purveyors find for us. Like today we found some nice chanterelle mushrooms. The flavor on them is great. What makes Italian Colors so special is we still have a lot of our original opening staff. At our 15-year anniversary, we took our 15 original employees over to Hawaii for a week. What keeps us going is our passion for what we do and the pleasure we get out of the staff and from the regulars that we have. Our guests are just fantastic. Some of them are here 2 and 3 times a week. It's become like a big extended family.
All right, Doug, this spot's been around for 20 years, hasn't it?
It has. It's a very, very popular and almost an institution now in the Oakland Hills. I've been going for at least 17 years. I know I can recall back that far. And
back when you were a kid.
Back when I was about 6.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's ever disappointed me. It is indeed a restaurant that welcomes families, but it is much, much more than that. It has a very sophisticated menu. It has a wonderful preparation. They have a fabulous beet salad that I absolutely love with nuts and goat cheese. It's huge. You know, these roasted beets are wonderfully offset by the tartness of the goat cheese and the nuts. They also have some grilled asparagus in the salad. They also have bacon and avocado salad. That's sort of a BLT salad.
A lot of Italian colors in there. The only thing we're missing
a lot of
is
Italian
red.
colors there.
You got tomato.
Their soups are superb, especially the clam chowder.
I had the matzo ball soup, which was really good. I will say it did have chicken in it, which I was not expecting because it was not listed on the menu. I'm a vegetarian, but I'm not opposed to eating around chicken. The broth was really tasty, and the matzo ball was like one giant. That was really good. That was probably the highlight of my meal. I had the Fungi Pizza, which was a mushroom pizza. It was like a personal sized pizza, cooked perfectly, looked really great, had no flavor. I had to salt the pizza. And I eat pizza 2-3 times a week. I'm a pizza addict, so I eat
the
pizza
Wisconsin
a lot.
girl in you.
I never have salted a pizza a day in my life, and I had to salt this pizza. So that was kind of just, you know, kind of a letdown.
I did the specialty, which is the Eggplant Parmesan, and it was so good. You can taste the eggplant. It was still like crunchy. It wasn't mushy. It was like tasty. It was a massive plate of food. Like, I'm not used to that huge of a serving, but it was like smothered in sauce and cheese, but it wasn't too heavy. It was really good.
It was the right amount of breading.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was a highlight of me and my parents' dish, was the eggplant parmesan. I kept picking at it.
So I started with the Caesar salad, which I loved. This is a lemon anchovy dressing, so you can taste more of the lemon. The lettuce was crisp. It was great.
And should she get a different kind of pizza?
Oh, the salsiccia pizza. They do their
she can't do sausage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was the only pizza I could order. That was the only pizza I could order. And I, you know, me being a pizza addict.
You could get one of off the children's menu. You could ask for a cheese pizza without any green stuff.
Well, I don't mind green stuff. I don't, you know, it depends on what green it is, but I don't mind green stuff.
Well, for those of us who aren't vegetarian, they make their homemade fennel sweet sausage, which is absolutely delicious. They have a tequila roast half chicken marinated in absolutely delicious tequila marinade. It makes the chicken more moist. It certainly adds a certain flavor, but of course, all of the alcohol is burned out in the cooking process. But it is, it's just succulent and a crispy skin. It's just a very lovely dish. And if you're ever there on the occasion when they have one of the steaks on the grill, I don't know what they do to this steak. It is charbroiled to perfection. It is absolutely delicious. And on a couple of occasions, don't tell anyone, they've allowed me to substitute French fries for the mashed potatoes, and I end up having the most delightful steak frite that I've had since I was in Paris.
I will say that service was a little too on us. It was kind of early in the night, and we had our waiter plus 2 busboys, and I'd say if it had just been one of them, it would have been the right rotation, but all 3 of them kept checking up on us, and it was like every 4 minutes there was someone at our table asking if everything was okay.
See,
so for me, it was a little too much. It was just like, okay, let's go, because...
I agree, the service, it was really good, in my opinion, because in San Francisco you come and they're like, it takes 10 minutes sometimes to get your even wine. So going there, it was kind of like, it was overwhelming because it was constant, but I feel like they were really on top of things. I'm like, okay, perfect.
I think that it's really all the right problems to have.
Yeah, come back, princess.
Come back, you know.
Come on, come see me. Yeah.
All right, value. You mentioned a lot of food.
I thought it was a great bang for the buck. A lot of food, amazing. Wait till I tell you about the dessert, though.
Okay, tell me about the dessert. I'm all ears.
So I ordered the hot fudge sundae with the chocolate hazelnut crackle. Oh my God, like wow. It was so good. I'm coming back just for that dessert.
Look at your face.
Really? You
My
missed that?
parents and I split the creme brulee, and it came out ice cold. I get preparing it beforehand, but I expect, especially with the price you're paying.
At least room temperature.
At least room temperature. The crackle should be warm or somewhat. It was ice cold. It had really good flavor and great texture, but I don't know. I'm a temperature person maybe, and I just, for me, it wasn't hitting it. I don't know.
What should she have done there, Doug?
Oh, the warm, gooey chocolate cake. It's an extraordinary invention. Italian Colors prepares this gooey chocolate cake with bittersweet chocolate, and I don't believe there's any sugar in it whatsoever, but it's served with an absolutely delicious strawberry ice cream. So you take a taste of this chocolate, and it's bittersweet chocolate, and you finally meet cocoa again. You finally meet cacao. You finally get that sting of the bittersweet chocolate, and then it's just addressed by this delicious strawberry ice cream.
All right, Doug, quick wrap up.
If you're tired and hungry and in the East Bay Hills, this is the perfect place to go to relax and have some very good food.
All right, and Suki?
I found it dated and stuffy. The food was lacking flavor and temperature, and for the price, I would not return.
All right, and Shannon?
I would definitely go back for the dessert. I thought the food and the value for what you got was great, and if I lived closer, I would go back again.
All right, if you would like to try Italian Colors Restaurant, it's on Mountain Boulevard in Montclair Village in Oakland. The telephone number is 510-482-8094. It's open for lunch Wednesday through Friday, dinner every day. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab for dinner without drinks is around $30. I have to thank my lively guests on this week's show. Suki Van Arsdale with the culinary crossover of fiery Filipino and Mexican fusion cuisine at Señor Sisig. Shannon Kastner and MY China in San Francisco for traditional Chinese fare brought to life with modern elegance and style. And Doug Schlafer, where families come together for that quintessential Italian dinner experience at Italian Colors Restaurant in Oakland. We really want to hear your thoughts about today's show and your experiences at any of the restaurants we've been talking about. So go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease, where you'll find a lot more information and details on all the restaurants featured. You can watch a segment or download a whole show. You can also read my notes on the wines we are drinking and enjoying today. And don't forget, you can stay in touch with us via Facebook and Twitter for special exclusive behind-the-scenes clips, pics, and notes from me. So join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers, everyone. Woo. And cheers for you guys.
This show is available on demand and online. To watch an episode, find restaurant information, or to apply to be on the show, go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease. You'll also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by IRG has thousands of natural stone surfaces, all in stock today. IRG, online at marblecompany.com. Bay Area Subaru dealers. Opportunities to test drive the 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek Hybrid are available at local Subaru dealers. Subaru online at Subaru.com. Just 45 minutes from the Bay Bridge, Jamison Ranch Vineyards offers handcrafted wines, chef's food pairings, and weekly live music. JamisonRanch.com. Oakland International Airport, offering new flights to Europe, Hawaii, and all across the USA. Oakland International. Park close. Fly on time. With whole toasted sesame seeds, garlic, ginger, and other natural ingredients, soy vey sauces and marinades bring a taste of Asia to your favorite dishes. Support KQED's vehicle donation program and donate a car to help raise funds for quality public media. Powered by Cars. A KQED television production.